President, Dean Hopkins, Dean Cornish, the newest members of our academic community, their families and friends, and the members of the faculty are now assembled. It's my pleasure to declare the opening convocation for the 2015-2016 academic year is now in session. All who are able, please remain standing for invocation.
Let us pray. Gracious God of all hope and knowledge, how majestic is your name in all the earth, how marvelous are the works of your hands, and how bountiful are your gifts for us. It is with gratitude that we come before you in prayer this day. We come with grateful hearts and thanksgiving for this glorious day at St. Andrews University. It's a new day. It's a new semester. It's a new year. It's a new beginning for many standing with us. As we anticipate this new semester and year, we ask a special blessing on our students, upon our faculty, our staff. Grant them your wisdom, sustain them by your grace, and fill their hours and days with blessings of your mercy. May they find joy in learning and in serving together, and may they know your presence and see your glory as each day of this year unfolds. Grant, O God, that we gathered in this place dedicated for the pursuit of knowledge may find and cultivate these gifts: compassion, courage, the challenge of clear thinking in our common life. Lead us all to still places that we might know you and hear your voice. Give us grateful and generous hearts that we might be your instruments of compassion and peace in our campus, in our community, in our world. We offer this prayer of thanksgiving and praise in your name, God of each and every one of us. Truly, how majestic is your name in all the earth. Amen.
Please be seated. Members of the class of 2019, transfer students, parents, and family members, on behalf of the trustees, the faculty, and the staff, it's my pleasure to welcome you to this opening convocation. I think we're going to take the position that this is a very auspicious beginning, that the rain is actually a good sign, and so we're going to take that and run with it as far as we can. Normally I ask you to turn off your cell phones, but we may need to keep them on for flashlight purposes if we continue to get a little more action on the lights, so hang on to them. We've just seen the procession of students in to start this academic year. This is the first step that the students have made in what will be a 4-year process of serious work, a lot of growing, a lot of fun along the way. And it will be years from now with a procession across the Causewalk to the DeTamble Library Terrace where we have commencement. And in many ways, commencement and this opening convocation are the bookends of your academic career here at St. Andrews. In between will be, as I said, a lot of hard work, and I hope a lot of messages and things that stick with you for the rest of your lives. During that time, between these two bookends, we're committed as a university to teaching and mentoring you as students, to helping you develop the knowledge, the skills, and the experience you're going to need in order to make a living when you graduate. But equally important to us is our deep commitment to helping you gain a better understanding of yourselves, your aspirations, your passions, your greatest joys, so that you can make a meaningful and a purposeful life for yourselves in what is an increasingly fragmented world that you'll be entering into as young adults. While there are many colleges and universities that prepare students for jobs, we believe that a St. Andrews education does much more in helping you prepare to make a living, but also prepare you to make a life for yourselves. And in order for us to be successful at that, it takes a partnership between us, the university, you, the students, and frankly, you, the parents and families of the students who are here with us today. Let me talk to you students first for a minute. For you, much of your life up to now has been lovingly controlled. How about that? Is that a fair statement? Lovingly controlled, laid out for you, prepared the way for you by your parents and your extended family. And that's a good thing. In many ways, though, today is a point when you're free. Free to build on that foundation that they delivered for you, but free to make your own lives, your own decisions, your own choices, find your own way. And that's exhilarating. I remember it well. I sat right over there 35 or more years ago and listened to the same start of the academic year. So I know what you're feeling. But you know, with that freedom comes a tremendous amount of responsibility. Responsibility to show up for class, show up for activities that are meaningful to you, to work hard, to be a good citizen of the community, to get to know people outside of your small group that you may have come in knowing. Responsibility and freedom go hand in glove, cannot be separated from one another. What we hope in your education at St. Andrews will be about learning how to balance those two powerful things in life. Now for parents, over the next year in particular, first year these young folks are away, and then over the several years that follow, you're going to get your share of frustrated calls from your son or daughter relating maybe a disappointment with a grade, an unfair teacher, not many of those, roommate problems, an impending disaster because of some administrative mix-up. As a parent myself who was in much your same position not very many years ago with my own two kids, I want to encourage you to resist the temptation to immediately step in to try to solve whatever is the perceived problem. I want to ask you to hold off making a call to the dean to complain about this, or to fire off an email, or send a letter of complaint. And you know what? I think if you'll step back and encourage your student to try to solve the problem on their own first, what you're going to find is important lessons are learned in that process. Things have a remarkable way of working themselves out. And what was a problem late one night over the phone tends to resolve itself with a little creative problem solving and a clearer head and a light the next day. Your children have to fight a few battles on their own, winning some and losing some, but doing it without you jumping in to fix the problem. These will prove to be incredibly valuable learning experiences for them. At the risk of unsettling you a little bit, I want to encourage you to step back, let go just a bit. This process of transition to college from home life and eventually into adulthood is going to take place sooner, I'm convinced, more fully and more responsibly if you give your student the space needed to exercise newfound freedom with that balance of responsibility, and to do it in what is a supportive, transforming embrace of this academic community. There's no doubt that mistakes will be made, but growth and transformation cannot genuinely take place without the freedom to make those choices, to take responsibility for them, and to bear the burden of failure even sometimes heartbreaking failure, or what seems to be at the moment. Letting go, though, hear me out, does not mean no contact, no advice, no expectations, or no involvement. But it does mean encouragement to solve their own problems, navigate their classes and the bureaucratic details of living without you present to make their decisions for them and to solve every problem. That's a hard thing for me to ask of you, I know, and I've been there. But I think it's critically important for the next 4 years of these folks' lives. Each of us, student, parent, university, has an important role to play in this partnership. And it won't work unless all of us work together. And I'm confident that we can and we will. So, as I welcome you to St. Andrews, I want you to look around at the gathered community here today and take some comfort. We're all in this together, and we're all going to be part of the new life that you choose to create for yourselves at St. Andrews in preparation for the life beyond. Welcome to each and every one of you to St. Andrews University. We're delighted that you're here.
This is always such an exciting time of year to see so many new faces. You guys are from Texas, from Arizona, Washington State, California. Some of you are from here in Lorimer. You're from Honduras, Colombia, Japan, Scotland, Bolivia, Brazil. You represent 26 different countries and 21 different states. You're here to study biology, psychology, some of you education, hopefully English, pre-vet, or creative writing. I want to encourage you to explore, discover, be an engaged learner and member of our community. You're here to play a sport. Some of you are here to ride, to be in the pipe band, or the choir. I want to encourage you. Study in Italy, travel to India, be passionate, prepare to make a living and a life. Take an art class or that poetry class, start a club, or even run for SGA. Challenge yourself to do something different and step out of your comfort zone. Learn, grow, discover who you are and why you are here. Welcome to the class of 2019.
Good evening, class of 2019. I'm Stuart Marshall, your student government president. As your president, I'd like to take a minute to explain SGA to you and your role in it. You are all members of SGA, and it is your duty as members of this community to make your voice heard. It is my duty as an elected president to challenge you, not only academically, but socially. As a community of individuals, we need each of you to do your part and contribute to the whole. Each day, you need to be consciously and actively trying to improve yourself for the betterment of your peers. So how do you stay active in college? It goes beyond just going to class and playing your sport. It means speaking up in class. It means caring enough about the world around you to develop articulate opinions and express them. It means joining a club that you like. And if there isn't a club you like, start one. It means going to student government meetings and having concrete ideas about how to solve problems. Above anything, I ask you to challenge yourself. You will be surprised at what you're capable of. Don't accept mediocrity within yourself or your environment. Don't do the bare minimum. Challenge yourself, inside and outside of the classroom. Don't be afraid to enjoy learning. Put yourself out there. Don't reserve your social life just to weekends. Your room is just where you sleep. Your home is amongst your friends. Take advantage of the vast opportunities before you. Our school is small, but the opportunities are huge. During my time here, I have represented my university by competing with our pipe band, debated against other schools in the NCICU Ethics Bowl, designed exhibits for a local museum, started a club, organized charity events, had my poems published in the university's literary journal, and recently I studied abroad in India. A liberal arts education such as the one you will find here will not only tell you how to be a good student and have a fulfilling career, it will tell you how to become a better person. Now is the time to explore your interests and develop a fulfilling vocation. In all areas of your life, try your absolute hardest. I would like to encourage you to study abroad. I would also like to say that even if you do not study abroad, while you are here, you will find that St. Andrews will follow you wherever you go. The education you receive here will not end when you leave. 2 weeks ago, I was in the Himalayas at over 14,000 feet in a shepherd's hut. The shepherd did not speak a word of English, but invited us in for tea, using yak excrement as the fuel for the fire. That is just one experience for which I have the university to thank. Where will St. Andrews take you? If you are worried you will not succeed, remember the words of Muhammad Ali. If they can make penicillin out of moldy bread, then they can sure make something out of you. And to those late bloomers who have no idea what they're doing, no idea what they're doing here, no idea what they're doing with their life, don't worry. The early bird may get the worm, but the second mouse gets the cheese. There's hope for you yet. In all seriousness, you've heard that these 4 years will likely be some of the best in your life. That will not happen by itself. You have to seize it. You have to earn it. Class of 2019, welcome. We're all excited to meet you and see what you're made of. Thank you.
Thank you, Stuart. Again, let me welcome you, especially welcome you on behalf of the faculty. And I should say to the faculty that I had the opportunity to meet with these students in an hour-long session earlier this afternoon. They're excited to be here. They're ready to engage the classroom, and they're looking forward to seeing you next week. I would, though, warn you, faculty, that I did share with these students the 2 secrets of success in their academic studies. Now, students, I'm not sure all of the faculty know those secrets, so you might want to keep those to yourself, but act on them. We certainly are pleased that you are here. We are eager to start a new year, and I know you're eager to start down that path and try and find out where it's going to lead you. It is my pleasure to introduce the speaker this afternoon. I've worked with Dr. Bushover for over 30 years, and in all cases, it's been an exciting time to engage in discussions, activities, and problem solving with him. There's a biography in the program today that relates to his experiences. I should tell you that he just returned from India, where he led that group that Stuart was talking about. And this is probably the 100th time that he's done that in his time at St. Andrews. So he's an experienced trekker and knows India well. It is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Neil Bushover.
I need my assistant. Where is my assistant? To help you follow my speech, I'm applying a special P4 act, a technologically challenged poor professor's PowerPoint. My able assistant would kindly push the start button so we can activate the gadget. What are we doing here? Why are we here? Why are we sitting on folding chairs on the sometimes basketball, sometimes volleyball court that's covered with canvas? Why all the costumes? Young persons unusually dressed in nice, clean clothes. Some men in skirts. Grown-ups in medieval robes. And parents and other sort of relatives and guests. Why is Professor Turbeville looking at her watch? I
can't say this, why the procession across the lake, because we got washed out. What is happening here? As I see it, we are performing a ritual. This ritual reminds us that this is not an ordinary day, but an extraordinary day. When you walk into this gym, you, the new students, have the opportunity to leave behind parts of your older identities and become one of us. You need no longer be a high school student or a junior college student or a student at another college. As one of the eldest members of this community, I warmly welcome you into our community. We are glad, we are excited you're here. You bring new life, energy, differences, and challenges. When you walk out of this convocation, you will be now and forever a St. Andrew lady. Thank you. First, a warning. 5 days ago, I was in New Delhi, India, having helped students, alums, and a fellow faculty member encounter India on a month-long study tour that included a 12-day trek in the Himalayas. About 2 weeks ago, I was eating lunch at 16,000 feet. Sunday morning, I returned on a 3.5-hour non-stop plane ride. I arrived at St. Andrews late on Sunday morning. India is 9.5 hours ahead of us. So while I appeared to be here at a little after 5:30, my body thinks it's somewhere after 3 a.m. tomorrow, and I haven't slept. So if I seem somewhat more spaced out and goofy than normal, forgive me. Also, to celebrate my return to Laurenburg, my allergies have given me a drooling nose and fits of sneezing, so I'm warning you about. Now that I have a captive audience, it's time for shameless recruiting. I cannot avoid a captive audience to advertise that in 2 years, I will be leading another study tour to India. I'm wearing a Kulu hat from the valley where our trek began and ended. If you want the same incredible experience we just had in India, come join us. I know of other travel opportunities being planned. In summer 2016, Dr. Kellen will return to South Africa to lead a hands-on veterinarian experience at a game park. I and Professors Edna Ann and Bill Loftus, who I fondly call the Loft Guide, are exploring a 2-week trip to Greece in May. And of course, there is the fall semester of the Human. Let me give you a clue as to the organization of this speech. We will have a prologue. 1 deadly sin, 3 ways to see St. Andrews, a few big enough questions you cannot avoid answering, and a conclusion. Medieval theologians identified 7 deadly sins. Looking out and seeing you, the new members of our community, I have fallen prey to one of those 7 sins. Let me call on, I don't know where they are, the religious professors to identify that sin. I left. There they are. Yes. One is holding it so you can't read, but that's okay. Envy. Yes, I am envious. You, the new members, have something now in great abundance that I once had, but now have little left. Let me call on Professor of Physics Dodson and Professor Turbeville to identify what that is. All right. Time and space. Thank you. Very good. You can sit down now. As a 73-year-old, beginning my 47th year of teaching at St. Andrews, I am clearly nearing the end of my journey. You, however, somewhere at the very beginning of your life's adventures, and I am very envious. So the first big enough question I pose that you can't escape answering is, what are you going to do with all that empty time and space that probably lies ahead of you? How will you have answered at 30, at 40, or at 73? In preparing this speech, I came up with 3 images of St. Andrews. There are many ways to picture St. Andrews, but I will concentrate on 3. You might see St. Andrews as good old Camp St. Andy. Woo! You might see St. Andrews as a manufacturing plant where you will make an important consumer product. You might see St. Andrews as an art school where you will create a major piece of art. While we're all on a life journey, if you are primarily at Camp St. Andy, you may be attempting to pause, postpone, and even quit your life's journey. About Camp St. Andy, I will say that for me, it is sadly the wrong choice, which seeks to substitute a hectic pursuit of fun for long-term happiness. If here you will try to live for brief and fleeting pleasures with no thought or aims beyond the present, you will squander your time and space, attempting to escape the inevitable pains and joys of living by eating, drinking, and being merry. If you understand St. Andrews as a factory, you will be manufacturing yourself as an attractive commodity. Unless you wisely chose a wealthy family to be born into, we will all have to work for someone in order to feed, clothe, and shelter ourselves. Given the harsh and difficult job market you will enter, you will need to manufacture yourself as a commodity so attractive that some employer will purchase it in the job market or accept you into graduate school. Here will be the space and time and systems sufficient to those tasks. Let us identify some hard and soft skills which will make you a more attractive commodity. I have asked my assistants, this is it now. Many of you have socks. This is it. No. All right, science. I have 2 assistants. Ernest, who's going to help me, and Skippy, a Camp St. Andy counselor. How should you use today? You should use today to prepare for tomorrow. Today is for fun and pleasure. He's worrying about the future. It's going to turn out okay. What about learning? I know how to learn. Therefore, ask me something I do not know how to do, and I can learn how to do. I have learned to appear to have learned something. I can fool most persons. Besides, everything you need to know is easily available on the internet. How to relate to others. I know how to work well with others and to accomplish tasks together. How to relate to persons different than myself. I have taken advantage of St. Andrews to learn another language and travel abroad. I am comfortable carrying on face-to-face conversations. I know how to get others to do my work. I have over 600 friends on Facebook. As to diversity, I'm from South Carolina, and my roommate is from New Jersey, and we sort of get along. Even though he has a funny accent and won't eat grits and drinks iced tea without sugar? What about computer skills? I know how to use computers effectively as a tool to accomplish tasks, to find information, and to communicate. I know text. LOL, OMG, LMAO, YWA, SNH, IPA. I am way up in rank and prestige in Call of Duty. I regularly accomplish missions on Grand Theft Auto. I win a lot of games in FIFA. I regularly use Instagram and Snapchat and LinkedIn. I can find the answers to multiple choice questions professors downloaded from our textbook, and I know how to disguise my borrowed business. Reliability. I have developed a high degree of reliability and dependability. I am conscientious. Because I have developed a reputation for integrity, I am seen as trustworthy. I'm great at making excuses. Family emergency is a great cover to attend a brother's 21st birthday party. I can text in class and I can call. I have worked hard to appear honest. What about my resume? I am regularly building my resume. For example, I have done 2 internships. No worry, I know people that will give me a job when I graduate. Any last words? Oh, yes. Do not listen to that bland song. And certainly, don't take seriously some old man with socks on his head. Okay, last, you can see St. Andrews as an art school. I have an artist who's going to, yes, thank you, art school. Okay, those are the 3. Camp St. Andy, the manufacturing plant, and an art school. Lastly, you can see St. Andrews as an art school. Here there is sufficient time and space to develop your own story. One that you'll tell with your life. You know, we can't escape being an artist whose greatest creation will be ourselves. If you understand St. Andrews, we will be working on the most important creation. As my minister reminds me, we all will tell stories with our lives. Here is time and space sufficient to develop your own unique life story and begin to enact it into your life. Imagine yourself as a scriptwriter for a cable TV miniseries of many seasons and episodes. In this miniseries you write, you will be the main character. Something interesting to do is to imagine what it will be for the entire series and also for individual seasons and episodes. How are you going to describe the main character you will play? As for me, the main character in my story is the heroic, foolish teacher knight out on the frontiers of ignorance, whose story is attempting to win persons over to the rich rewards of a life of learning, winning them not through bribes of easy assignments and low expectations, but by respecting them and challenging them and calling them to excellence. There are many subplots, but this is the main basic plot which I intend to enact daily with my life. What's going to be yours? I'm going to go around and ask you at some point to stop and get my position. How do you know if you're creating a good story? Will your story provide you with a worthy purpose? Will it provide you a passion for living a life? Will it provide a rich and enriching meaning? Will your story include words such as excellence, integrity, and service. Will your story lead to a life of continual growth? For the first part of our lives, our inherited biological and genetic scripts and our particular environment will lead to a kind of automatic growth. But by the time you arrive at college, automatic growth will be largely complete. You have reached the end of the moving sidewalk. Will your story require you to keep growing and changing? Will your story open you to new experiences? Will your story help you escape the gravity of self and move you from a me-first world to a world of participation with significant others? Will your story lead you to meaningful relationships? Will your story be realistic, yet challenging, and not an impossible fantasy as that my story is I'm going to be a professional athlete or a millionaire? Anyone laughs and I will. Will your story help you, make you an interesting person? You know, when you say you are bored, you are really declaring that you are a boring person with too small a story to tell and too few interests. A good story should help us find our world a mysterious and enchanted place that is never boring. Final observation. Making a saleable product in the St. Andrews manufacturing plant and creating a meaningful life story in the St. Andrews Art School is not an either-or choice. They are not mutually exclusive. I think you will need to do both. If you concentrate solely on getting into the job market, you may earn a great deal of money but find yourself very unhappy. If you concentrate solely on a meaningful story, you may find yourself without food and shelter. When I travel by air, after clearing security, I usually walk the airport rather than sit at my gate and go to the food court. I keep a watch inside me. In the middle of such a walk in the Newark airport on a return trip from a month in New York City, a not very effective advertisement caught my attention for what product I do not remember, but which boldly asserted at the bottom in big letters, "Future Ready." I have been working on this speech for many weeks, and those two words organized for me all the random scraps and notes. So here is another big enough question. Are we future ready? It's a provocative question. You know, the future arrives daily. Are we future ready? As a college, are we future ready? Do we have an exciting enough future vision that carries us beyond mere survival? As a faculty, are we future ready? But most crucially, as students, will you at graduation be ready for your future? St. Andrews largely exists to assist you in your chosen future. I've got 10 more minutes. I got 2 minutes. In conclusion, let us repeat our big enough questions you cannot escape answering. What are you going to do with all that open space and time you will probably not have, if ever again, for decades? Life is a journey. Here at St. Andrews, will you pause in that journey too afraid to go anywhere? Will you merely be here at Camp St. Andy's, only at college? Will you be in college on a practical journey towards a strong resume and a well-paid, interesting job? Wait, getting there. Will you be in college on a mindful journey towards the creation of a good story that will give your life meaning? At the moment of graduation on your life's journey, your party be over, or will you best yet to be? Will you be ready for your future? My last big enough question is the one I have traditionally posed in this open convocation address. Will you be in college or merely at college? One paragraph. Okay. Yes. With each other's help, I hope that you and also our dreams will make all the difference. In college, working on your resume, in art school, working on your story, or just here at Camp St. Andrews. So, again, welcome and thank you for listening.
Good afternoon, everybody. How do you follow that? Tough job. This afternoon, we're welcoming the newest members of the St. Andrews academic and residential community. We celebrate your decision to become part of St. Andrews, and we look forward to the many ways in which our community will be enriched by your presence. As part of the ceremony of welcoming, new students are invited to join the St. Andrews faculty in affirming the fundamental values which characterize our community and provide the foundation of our lives together. These essential values are expressed in the St. Andrews Community Honor Code. I promise to be a contributing member of the St. Andrews community and supportive of its mission, to be responsible for my choices of behavior, to be honest in all my academic endeavors, to be respectful of the property and person of others, and to live in harmony with the social and natural environment which sustains this community. Let me emphasize some key phrases in the code. We expect all members of St. Andrews community to be responsible, to be honest, to be respectful, to live in harmony. We take these values seriously. Responsibility, integrity, and mutual respect are the habits of being that sustain our community. These values make possible an atmosphere of mutual trust, which allows our intellectual and personal relationships to flourish. In the weeks ahead, faculty and staff will help new students gain a deeper understanding of these values as we challenge each of you to explore your own talents and discover that unique contribution which only you can make to the world. This year, to demonstrate that the values expressed in the Community Honor Code are shared by all members of the community, the St. Andrews faculty will sign the Honor Code before our new students. For some of us, this is a reaffirmation of the values which have guided our professional lives for many years. For our new faculty, the ceremony is part of their introduction to St. Andrews. Faculty members will hand their signed Honor Code cards to the student marshals. And in a few minutes, new students will hand their signed cards to members of the faculty. These gestures reflect our commitment to one another and to the community respect and trust we intend to foster at St. Andrews. I would like to ask our student marshals to please come to the tables. And faculty members to now come forward to sign the community honor code. Thank you, marshals. Now, for those faculty members who are representing the entire academic community, please come to the tables. Will the marshals please begin to guide our new students to the tables as they participate in the signing ceremony.
Our convocation today is coming to a close, and as I reflect on the various comments from the prayer that Neil gave, to the remarks that the other Neil made, and all throughout, I was struck by, and reminded, I guess I should say, of some lyrics to a song that was popularized right before you guys were born. And it's embarrassing to say. Nonetheless, it's true. But it seems apropos for what you heard today, and that is, we've got two lives, the one we were given and the one we make. And that's what I think this is about, the life you're going to be making for yourself. And our hope and our challenge and our promise is we're going to do all that we can to assist you in that important venture. Now, as we come to a close, a couple of things. One, we're going to have the singing of our alma mater, the lyrics of which are on the back of your program, and will be led by Ed Williams, who directs our choir and teaches music. After that's finished, there'll be a recessional led by the pipe band that will lead the platform party off. So if you'll remain where you are seated until the platform party is out, then it'll come to a close. And what I want to invite you to is, depending upon the weather, and I see glimmers of light out there, we're going to have a picnic that you're all invited to, family, friends, students, whomever else. Come one, come all, directly across to the Belk Student Center. And we'll have a picnic and get a chance to have some good fellowship together and get to know one another better here at the beginning. So, with that having said, let me ask Ed to come up and lead us in the alma mater.
I saw you guys. You saw me? Yeah. Well, actually,